Well, welcome everybody to Luke Part 2. I hope that you were part of Luke Part 1. You don't have to have done Part 1 to do Part 2, but it'd probably help you if you had. You can actually go back and watch all the videos to the entire course in a relatively brief period of time. So here we go with the first lesson. We're in Luke chapter 17. We're going to look today at the first 10 verses. And what you see at the very beginning right here is that Jesus is warning the disciples. And he said that stumbling blocks will be inevitable. They're certain to come, in other words. And he said, woe to those who tempt others to sin. So the idea being that the stumbling blocks will be sins, that there will be people that will come our way that will tempt us to sin. We've actually seen this occurring in the life of Jesus as we've gone through Luke in various ways. And he tells them to do something. It's actually in one sentence, these three action things, to be on guard for this kind of thing, to rebuke a brother when he's in sin and doing something like this, and if the brother repents, to forgive him. Now notice the operative phrase right here is the fact that it's a brother that does this. So we're to be on guard of this type of thing happening. If you see somebody that's involved with sin like this, we have a role and a responsibility of going and approaching them and saying, hey, you need to quit doing this. That rebuke really carries sort of a heavy and a harsh type of connotation. In our language, I don't think it's quite as heavy-handed as that. We had quite a discussion about this, as a matter of fact, in class, because some people thought it was very judgmental and be hard and all this kind of stuff. No, no, it's an attitude of heart that's important, that you want the restoration of the person. You want what is best for the person. And Jesus tells us to be on guard of this kind of thing because it will be a leaven type of effect within the body. Well, the apostles, it says next, okay? So the called ones out of these disciples says, well, Lord, increase our faith. In other words, how are we going to do that? How do you function and operate in that way? And they were literally asking that, how do we do that? Well, then Jesus gives an account of the slave and the master, and you read the account, and it boils down to this, that slaves have a role and a responsibility, and we're to perform these things, and we're to do these things. And when you read that account, it's like, well, it sounds rather harsh because the guy's been working all day long, the master comes home. Well, the master doesn't say take the day off. I'll fix my own supper. He says, no, fix supper, do all that kind of stuff. Do what you're supposed to do for me as the master, and then you can, have your own time, I guess. The idea is this, what is the point of this? That we're to be obedient. And so the statement that the apostles asked was, increase our faith. Jesus is saying this, the way to walk in increased faith is to walk in obedience. Think about that and see how that changes your life. I'll see you again next time.